Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, episode 302 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's losing their memory with me tonight?
Hey, I'm getting a sick back tattoo and a backless dress to match. It's Kerry Carusetta.
Hey, and it's Michael Colby, who doesn't do funny intros. Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We are here to continue our Castlevania journey with the last Iga Vanias game I never played, not the last one that I'm still missing a couple for the show, but Castlevania Order of Ecclessia, that developed by Konami, published by Konami, came out originally in 2008, and lo and behold, to make me look like an idiot for earlier things, came out this year on PC, like a month ago.
Yeah, PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox.
I'm so happy.
All the systems. I've heard that collection is like it's called the Dominus collection, right?
Yep.
I've heard that's really good.
It's great.
It is. That's how I played it, and I loved it, and I need to go back and play the other two again now because I can.
Does it have like rewind and save states and stuff?
It has save states. I don't think it has
save
rewind.
states.
No rewind.
I don't know about rewind. The other ones
cool.
The other ones have rewind. I can't imagine this one doesn't.
Oh, maybe I just didn't look hard enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know I have the Advanced collection.
Yeah,
and it
the
has
advanced.
rewind.
Yeah, the advanced definitely has it. So
yeah, I have the Advanced collection. Then I have whatever collection that is. That's just Dracula X and Symphony of the Night.
Oh, you know,
Like the Nocturne collection or something like that.
that one's PlayStation only, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I have that on my PS5. I don't remember if it has rewind or not, but yeah, I actually thought about getting the Dominus collection, but I just this summer or really fall, I finally modded my 3DS, and I was like, no, I'm gonna play it on the 3DS instead. So I played it all natural on the 3DS with a R4 card.
Nice. I was thinking about playing this originally on DS, and I'm so thankfully that Dominus Collection came out and I didn't have to, because God, did I need save states for this game. Woo!
Well, I say I played on 3DS. Actually, I think I played through the first like half of it or so on just a DS, and then I popped the card and then I modded the 3DS and finished it on that. But it was definitely the hardest of the Iga Vanias, I'd say. I didn't use save states, but
yeah,
it was definitely more difficult than most of the Vanias.
It wasn't nearly as hard as I remembered it being. I had a it wasn't breezy. I did go back and played Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah.
That is a breeze after this one.
Dawn of Sorrow is like way easier. And Aria of Sorrow is like so short. You forget it's like half the length of Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, I was like, I think the bosses in Dawn of Sorrow want to be killed, because like I was tearing through that game, and I was like,
I'd say that the final boss of Dawn of Sorrow, like the true final boss, Chaos or whatever it is, is a good deal harder than the final boss of this. The final boss of this was not bad at all. To me,
No.
like three or four tries. Very similar to the final boss of Symphony of the Night, which is also like pretty easy by the time you get there. But it's also a matter of by the time you get there, you've just have amassed so much power, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
This game,
and I did look at a guide that gave me kind of the hint of like what would make that fight a little easier. So
that's how I play too. I used a guide for this game too, just to see what weapons worked good against the bosses. Because this is your regular like Iga Vania, Castlevania, but some of like the twist with this one is you don't really have a regular attack. Both your attacks use MP, but your MP constantly regenerates.
Yeah, you know what this reminded me of was a game that I'm sure is inspired by it, Ender Lilies. Ender Lilies is the exact same system.
Oh,
and
I didn't play much of Ender Lilies, but if it's like this, I'm gonna have to go back. I
love Ender Lilies. Yeah, the idea is you're like a little anime girl who can't do anything but jump, but you like summon ghosts. And so you like befriend these ghosts, and so you like a swordsman ghost, and now you've got a sword strike, and so like ghost that hangs over your shoulder, and your X button is attack. So it's exactly this actually in that case, and it's really good. I loved Ender Lilies. I actually 100%ed it, which I did not do with this, but
this would be hard, I think.
I think I would try it if I had like another month to play or another couple of weeks maybe. But I finished it. I beat it yesterday, so just in time for the podcast.
Yeah, I did all the stuff that I needed to get the good ending, and then I don't 100% anything really, so I wasn't too worried about it. And I'm like, I'm not going back. I refuse to grind. I think I said it in the group chat. I was like probably 10 levels under leveled for every boss fight because I refused to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do much grind. I did just a little grinding near the end when I was like trying to get some item. And really what it was is, I do have just a mental disorder where if you show me a bestiary and there's question marks, well, I'm going to need to grind and kill that beast 1,000 times for that 1 in 1,000 chance of that question mark to turn into something. And then it turns out, it's a cream puff, which is very frustrating.
Okay, I see what you mean.
The Dracolinas, I must have killed Draculina like 50 times only to find out that its rare drop was a cream puff. Like, okay, cool. Kills for like 30 HP. Great.
I didn't do that. I did grind a bunch in this game, though. I got really, really into this game a couple times. And I like Metroidvanias. And when I can just grind and level up and hunt for an item and do other stuff, like watch a movie or something, I'm on board. Like I must have killed hundreds of this gold half-naked meditating bowl thing.
Oh yeah.
To get it to drop cashmere threads so I could finish the quest.
Yeah, I got tired of the fetch quest, so I didn't do that. I didn't complete the two like optional challenge dungeons. I didn't do those. I played around in the training ground a little bit. I didn't even find the large cavern. But I played without a guide. So I started this this summer, like 2 months ago. I started playing this and I just played it without a guide and got about halfway through it and then put it down for 2 months and then came back to it last week and blasted through the last half of it over the last week. And so I just was like mainlining it and using a guide to make sure that I wasn't missing stuff. But I saw like what I had to do for some of the quests and I was like, no, that's okay. Like specifically the blacksmith, eventually he needs gold ore. And it's like, there's 1 gold ore in Dracula's castle. And then it's an incredibly rare drop from those robot trash can things.
Oh Jesus, those things suck to kill.
Yeah, it's like a 1 in 1,000 drop from those guys. Oh, and or maybe a 1%, but it doesn't feel like 1%.
It's not 1 in 1,000 because
no, it's 1 in 100, I guess. It's 1% drop, and then they also randomly drop in chest in the 2 challenge dungeons. And I got 2 gold ore, and I was like, I need 1 more. I just don't want to do this. I just want to go beat the game. So I just beat the game. But
you didn't miss anything. I was trying because throughout this game you rescue villagers. That Elvis, your partner that you think is betrayed you because he's the one that stole the Dominus from you in quotations. Yeah. And then ran away, and then you're hunting him with no memory. Is what the story of this game is.
By the way, same plot that Iga would use later in
Bloodstain?
Bloodstain, yeah.
This game...
It's a very similar plot to Bloodstain.
This game reminded me a lot of Bloodstained while I was playing it. I was like, I can see where he got like a lot of his ideas for Bloodstained.
Yeah, I mean, there's the tattoos. It's the same thing.
Just like the villagers and all of that stuff. And I was like, man, this is really... I'm like, Mike's got to love this thing because he likes Bloodstained.
You play as a hot anime girl with long black hair and a backless dress with a powerful magical tattoo on your back in both games.
Yep. I'm sold.
And you have like a blonde brother who also has the tattoo power and has ran away, and you're kind of chasing him, and you think he's the main bad guy, but then it turns out he's actually not. The people you're working for are the main bad guys. It's the exact same damn game.
Yeah.
Seriously, Konami should have sued him, even though he made both games. They should have been like, come on.
Yeah, but someone probably...
And he was only the producer on this one. He wasn't the director or designer or the writer.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that, like, even more than Bloodstained, I'm a big fan of sprites. I think this game looked so much better than Bloodstained. I was blown away by like the animations and everything, like it's looks beautiful. Of all the characters. Yeah. It is gorgeous. The backgrounds, and it doesn't do that. Like I noticed when I was playing Portrait of Ruin and Dawn of Sorrow, where they do a lot of that 3D DS stuff. Like they figured out how to use polygons in the DS and like they mixed it in.
Yeah.
Like the
Right.
bugbears and shit are like polygonal and it looks weird, but they went back to the sprites in this one and I was like, for the backgrounds, especially in Dawn of Sorrow, like they used a lot of polygons and I'm like, it's not the same. And they went back to all sprites in this and it looks gorgeous. The animation is so cool. Her double jump is the best looking double jump
Yes.
I've ever seen.
I love a flip and a double jump.
It's a flip and she like is crossing her arms and she like leans back a little bit. It's so different
And
from every other like double jump. And yeah, her animations are just
her
fantastic.
back step, she does cartwheel or round
like
off
a cartwheel.
or whatever. Yeah, so cool. I like it. It's very cool.
Looks so
it's a really great return to Symphony of the Night without aping Symphony of the Night. I was actually the first playing through it over the last week. I just fell in love with it more and more as I was playing it. I think about a week ago I was like, yeah, it was all right. And then I played through it this last week. I was like, oh no, this is really, really good.
Yeah. And I think I noticed as I was playing, because I've been playing all of these, because I just got the Advanced Collection not that long ago. So I've been playing kind of all of them. And like Symphony of the Night is, we can all agree, a perfect masterpiece, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's one of the best games ever made.
Yeah. And Aria of Sorrow was like really close to Symphony of the Night. Like it's got a lot of
improved on it in some ways and then didn't live up to it in a couple of others that it can't really because of the platform.
Yeah. And then what I noticed was that Dawn of Sorrow maybe a little bit too much like Symphony of the Night. Like I wanted something different at that point.
I mean, it's a little too much Aria. It's basically just more Aria, to the point that you're even using the same protagonist. It felt like they were afraid to move on from Aria. And then Portrait. Oh,
Portrait of Ruin had the different castles, but it all just felt like different lackluster castles. It's like I get wanting to put different settings in there, but none of those castles were fun to explore.
It felt like a step backward for sure.
Yeah. And
I mean, I liked it, but it's
I like it too, but
it's definitely my least favorite of all these.
Yeah, we're not gonna go back and listen to the Portrait of Ruin episode. You'll get it. But then it felt like they had the one big good castle, and they had a couple of like very explorable areas, and then they had some areas that just felt like levels, like Castlevania levels.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I liked about it, because it was actually varying. It wasn't just varying smaller castles. Right. It was varying, you're outside and then you're in the church and then you're
underwater.
There's like so much stuff. And some of it felt like Symphony of the Night type stuff. And then some of it felt like classic Vania stuff. And I'm like, I'm here for all of this. And then to see like, again, the animations and just the way that everything looks and moves and feels, everything is so smooth. The attacks are so like perfect, like to time. You got the big attacks, which don't feel big and like too heavy, which I feel like is good because it's magic. You're not actually wielding huge weapons.
Oh,
it's still magic.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, that makes sense why like the hammer it isn't that slow. I mean, it's slower, but it's
slower, but it's not really slow because you're not swinging a huge hammer. You're still doing magic.
Yeah. So
like everything just feels so good in the game, and it looks good, and that, and it is like early 2000s, long black-haired witch, hot anime girl protagonist, turning her back on you and. The tattoo glows and her hair blows up.
I love it.
That animation is also fabulous. Her hair when she's running, everything just looks so good.
This is a beautiful game.
I didn't even think about the fact that like I really like Bloodstain, but I didn't really think about how close she is to Miriam earlier. Like you guys were saying, like that makes sense why I love both of these games.
It felt like a lot of the stuff, and a lot of the stuff in Bloodstained. Because Bloodstained was a lot longer. This game, I think it took me like 13 hours. And the only thing I grinded for was 1 soul to get through that one area that's like underwater with the spikes. I don't know. There's like a long room and it's spiky, and then there's like stuff on the ceiling that's coming down that blocks you.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like nothing I used, but I was like, I have to get through this. So that's the thing that I did look up in a guide. I was like, I have to know how to get through this room. It's driving me crazy.
I put 13 and a half hours into it, but I did do grind.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure what it is. I'm not sure what my playtime was.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, I'm bad, especially with handhelds, where I'll like set it down and let it run. So probably 2 of those hours were just like me on my phone or whatever while it was running.
I played this on the Steam Deck. Is that how you played it?
Yeah.
It was perfect for the Steam Deck.
Oh my, man, I slept on the Steam Deck for way too long. That thing rules.
Mm-hmm.
It has been my like 90% of what I play everything on.
Same, wherever I can.
But for these types of games, I've been playing like the auto shooter survival, like Vampire Survivors type games and Metroidvanias. And a handheld with a big screen like that is perfect for these games.
It's your fault. I've been playing Vampire Survivors for 18 hours in the last 2 weeks.
I'm going to be on. I have a whole segment that I'm going to do about ass games. But
you guys brought up another good point. Like, I didn't even think about some of the levels that are really just go from the left side to the right side. They have that feeling of a classic Vania. I didn't even like the one, like the underwater level, but before you can go underwater where you just hop across crates. Like, it feels like an old classic Vania level.
Yeah, it really does.
Yep.
I didn't even put that
but not
together.
hard. Not nearly as hard.
No, but it still has that feel of like a platformer.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love the fact that it's different maps. Like, this is I don't think we really have had I mean, of course, Ruin had a little bit of it, but these are actually like it feels like you have a world map and you're traveling across this map, going to different little towns, trying to save people and confront your brother who ran away. Like, I don't know. I really thought it was pretty cool how it went to different little zones. And then I'd go and revisit those zones constantly to farm new enemies. Because when you leave a zone and come back in, all the chests respawn. So then you can go and open the chest again, which I did way too many for a couple drops. But
yeah, this feels like I said, the perfect blend of an Iga and a classic. And like, it's hard enough, but it's not frustrating, and you can grind. And like, it took a while for the Castlevania stuff to start happening, if that makes sense. But like, once the Castlevania stuff starts happening, like the first thing I noticed was, you know, it was going through and it sort of felt like its own thing, almost like Bloodstained. And then I got to a section where there was one of those werewolves. And once I saw that werewolf, like howl in pain with its arms behind its head, and then it starts on that like violent fire that the Castlevania werewolves do.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, it's starting to do Castlevania stuff. And then the bugbears come, and then like the flea men come, and then the Medusa heads come, and I'm like, yes, this is like, I was enjoying this game, but now that it's a Castlevania game, even better.
Yeah, and that most of that is Dracula's Castle.
Yeah.
Which is the last level. But that last
enough.
level is like, I mean, it's like 6 levels. It actually is 4. It has like 4 sections. Each of them have a different name.
And then you could unlock. That's how you unlock the large cavern, and I think
the practice room or training room.
Yeah, which I did not. I did it.
The training room is all platforming. There's no enemies.
Yeah, it's hard though.
It is hard. Yeah.
Save states were very nice.
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
I know that I unlocked them, but I didn't really get into them because I was like, all right, I'm going to do these. And then I'm going to do these other 2. And I'm like, I'll play Portrait of Ruin again. And I'm like, I'm regretting this decision, but I'm powering through.
I could have said you're going to regret it.
I probably should have like backed up my save or something right before Dracula so I could go back and 100% it, but I didn't. I did start, though, an Albus run, and that's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I noticed, especially in this one, when you do those runs with the secondary characters, they don't put nearly as much time into those sprites and the animation.
Yeah.
Because Albus is like, hands just look like big squares. And he has like 4 frames of animation in his run animation. And I'm like, after playing the rest of this game, it was so jarring to see something looking like that.
I just
it
don't
is fun
like
though to just pull out an automatic pistol though, because that's his basic attack. All of his attacks are guns.
Yeah,
it was cool to have, but I never do those because it takes away what I really like. They go from the RPG elements, and become more of a classic Vania, which I can't play.
Well, with the Albus, you do get experience and you level up. Yeah, you get experience, you level up. You just don't have gear.
Oh, okay.
You don't have gear or spells. You just level up as you go, and your HP and your hearts increase.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Your HP and your hearts increase as you level up.
Yeah, I always play those a little bit, but I think Julius mode in Aria and Richter mode in Symphony of the Night are the only ones that I ever went all the way through.
I've never finished one. I've gotten fairly far in Richter mode, but that's it. I've played a little. I play a little bit of them. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I just beat this game.
I never
want to move on to something else.
They're not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like them, but I like Maria mode in Symphony of the Night, which is only in the
Saturn.
It's in the Sega Saturn version, but then it's also in the PSP version that's unlockable inside Dracula X Chronicles, and which is the first way I ever played through Symphony of the Night. So. And then it's also, I believe, Maria mode is available in the Nocturne collection or whatever it's called.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it's originally a Sega Saturn exclusive. Yeah,
which is one of the worst versions to play that game, by the way, for people say.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not going to perform as well.
Yeah,
though it's the same. It's the same number of bits as the PS1, but
and it can do pixels better too. So I'm not sure why, but I just know people really rag on it.
I mean, I don't know. I need to play it. I need to get a Saturn. I keep almost buying a Sega Saturn and then not buying it because I know better.
Yeah, some people swear by that version, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think mainly they like Maria.
Yeah,
mode. Yeah.
But yeah, so I was nervous when I started playing this, when I started playing Order of Ecclesia, because I had been I was championing this game on the show for a while. And I was like, man, I hope this thing is as good as I remembered. And I was relieved and delighted that it really was. It was better than I remembered. It actually moved up in my rankings.
Oh, that's
nice. It's now my 3rd favorite Castlevania.
Nice.
That's
which
great.
was Portrait.
Portrait is still down at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I would probably put it near, probably in that range for myself, honestly.
Yeah, for me,
it's third or fourth slot. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's Symphony of the Night, Aria, and then this.
Yeah, that actually might be my ranking also, come to think of it. I don't know. I do put Dawn as one of the, it's kind of, I feel about Dawn the way I feel about like Tears of the Kingdom. Like Tears of the Kingdom might be objectively better than Breath of the Wild, but it's so much of it is just repeating Breath of the Wild that it's like, well, Breath of the Wild's still my favorite. And Dawn is mostly just repeating Aria and adding to it. And I don't think it adds anything bad except for the glyphs, which the new version doesn't have.
They fixed that.
I think that Dawn is objectively worse because it is just trying to be more. And as I was playing it, what I noticed about Dawn was the amount of rooms that I went in that was just like a hallway with a bunch of the same enemy just dropped in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this sucks. Like, this isn't fun. It's just clear out a whole bunch of enemies just to like get to a chest or whatever. And it's like, this could have been taken out of this game and it wouldn't have lost anything. And I think that's what's so great about Order of Ecclesia and Aria is that they do what they're trying to do and they don't try to make it any bigger than it needs to be. They make it as big as it needs to be to say what they want to say, and then it gets out of your face.
I will say a long hallway full of just some enemies, all the same enemy, is something they do throughout the games, and it's in this.
Yeah.
Like I bear in mind like that attic in Dracula's castle where there's just 5 bugbears sleeping. It's just an attic. There's 4 chests, 5 bugbears. All the games have that. So, and there's a couple of like long hallways where it's just like
big knights blocking the way.
Yeah, there's like, oh, here's 2 final nights, or there's a long hallway where it's like, all right, there's going to be a cave troll, and then one of those Nova skeletons, and then another Nova skeleton. Now there's another cave troll. All right, next hallway, another cave troll, another Nova skeleton. There's 2 of those, kind of linking the Cerberus shortcut.
Yeah.
I don't mind stuff like that.
And Symphony of the Night has that too. Like you said, they all have them. But yeah, it was just
Dawn
in
has
Dawn.
more of them.
It was enough that I noticed. Like
It's
in
filler.
the other ones, it's like, oh, this is annoying or whatever. But then, you get into your 10th room that's just like 14 werewolves for no reason. And you can tell that they were just plopped in there in a line. And it's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
it's if you don't notice it, it's whatever. But when you start noticing, it's like, this is really annoying that I have to do this.
I don't mind those if I can like turn into a panther and fly through it real fast, or a wolf and just like run through it real fast. And this one, you're like go fast power that hits things. By the time you get it, there's not like one damn room you can go through where you're not going to be stopped by every enemy.
Yeah.
I definitely, when you give me the just fly through a room really fast power, let me use it. And there's not a lot of places to do that late game in this game. So I'll give you that. There are definitely some of those rooms where it's just like, oh, there's like 8 cave trolls in this room. Cool.
Yeah.
What was her power that she gets later?
The wings.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the wings. I was talking about the speed.
I don't think I got the speed.
It's so late,
it's
and
hidden.
It makes the game feel so much better once you get those. You reminded me of that. I did want to say that the what are they? The Midas boots.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't even talking about that.
Oh,
I was talking about her speed glyph. It goes on the R button.
Okay.
And it makes you. It does the same thing as the one you get in Aria of Sorrow, the Panther power in Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, where you just like fly across the room with like a like shield around you that kills minor enemies and breaks chandeliers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get that pretty late. It's one of the R. It's like Vol Hostis or something like that.
Yeah. People play this game way more because anytime I did have to look something up, it's like, oh yes, just equip the blastomyosis rune, and it's like, fuck, now I have to look for this thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like, just tell me where it came from.
Rapidus Fio is what it's called. Rapidus Fio.
I think I got it, but I never used it.
Yeah, it's a back glyph that creates a mystical shockwave around Shanoa, allowing her to move rapidly and damage enemies on contact, roughly doubling her movement speed. So yeah, you get one of those in Symphony. You can turn into the wolf, and then you get the wolf boost power that lets you just like charge forward as the wolf and fly through things. And then in Aria and in Dawn, you get the Jaguar power that does the same thing. And then in this one, you get the Rapidus Fio. And you also get something similar in Portrait of Ruin, actually, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that. I did look up how to get money in this game, so I maxed out. I had like more money to buy all the potions I wanted, so I could tank bosses near the end of the game.
Yeah, I never was hurting for money. What did you do for money?
You have to get a rune. You get a rune, and then you get a couple of gold rings and things. And I looked up where to get each item. And then there's a room that you go in with 2 of those stupid horses that like appear in front of you, like the ghost horses.
The nightmares.
Yeah, nightmare. And there's a hallway and a cave where you run back and forth, knocking out the couple towers, and you get 1,000 gold for every little candle thing you break. And you do that for like 5 minutes. And
yeah, you know what would have been useful there? Rapidus Fio. You would have just flown through that room back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I did that in Dawn of Sorrow to get like 1,000,000 gold. There's a similar deal. I didn't do it in this one, but I was never really hurting for money. The real, and I didn't really buy potions. The real health item is minestrone. Gotta get that bean soup.
Yep.
It heals because the potions that you can buy only heal 50.
Well, no, I had better potions.
Oh, yeah. How do you get the upgrade?
The quest.
Oh.
I did all the quests except for kill. Well, there's one guy who wants you to bring different herbs. If you do his quest, then in the shop they get more. They get.
Oh, it's the guy standing
time
outside the shop. Yeah, I didn't do his quest.
But they get better potions.
The potions never get as good as the minestrone, though.
The minestrone is like 250 HP.
Yep.
Oh, I had a full potion that would heal me from everything.
Oh, super potion.
Oh yeah, super potions.
You could buy those?
Oh, nice.
His quest, fine.
Oh, that's really nice to know. Yeah, I found a couple of super potions in Dracula's castle. I used both of them in the final fight.
I had 9. I used all 9.
Yeah, that final fight, man, that was really great. I had the best, victory on it. I ended up with 7 HP at the end. I had 7 HP and he still was like 6 hits away from me beating him. And I dodged all of his attacks and got in my 6 hits and beat him with 7 HP left. It was amazing. And I had used all my healing items. So
I was waiting for like something to happen after his second form. And I was like, that was really it. That was really the end of this game. I was a little disappointed.
Well, you got the bad ending, didn't you?
I got all the endings.
Okay.
I went through and I knew that there were 3 endings. And I knew kind of how to get them.
I don't know what ending I got. I got the ending where Albus takes your place and saves you. And then you watch Dracula's castle crumble. Okay, cool. Yeah. You get that for, I guess, saving all the townspeople.
Well, if you don't save all the townspeople, when you beat Albus, the game ends right there. You don't get Dracula's castle.
Oh, you don't even get Dracula's castle? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so that's the really bad ending.
Yes.
Then what's the medium ending?
Does she die with Dracula?
Yes, then? Yes. She fights Dracula and then she actually dies. Yeah. That's the medium bad ending. She does save everybody, but she doesn't make it. And then the good ending, she makes it.
Let me tell you, GameFAQs thinks we're all full of it. GameFAQs says, no, there's only one ending, guys.
No, there's
another.
For sure.
Then there's another. Well, no, these are just dumbasses on GameFAQs.
Oh, okay.
So someone in 2008 says there's only one ending, and then someone goes, no, there's 2 endings. You can beat Albus without saving the villagers, or don't beat him. So I guess there's 3. You're saying there's the third one.
You can. I'm not sure how you get the bad ending, but I'm assuming you don't do something. Then when you
the very bad ending is you don't save the people.
Yeah, you don't even finish the game, in my opinion.
Right. I think the medium ending is beating Dracula without using the Dominus.
Oh.
So strategy.wiki says, or strategywiki.org says there's only 2. There's just the either you save the villagers or you don't. That's it.
Okay.
Well, whatever. Either way, I got the good ending.
I've been playing this Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and what's the second advanced one?
Circle of the Moon?
No, not
Harmony
Circle
of
the
Dissonance.
Moon. Harmony of Dissonance. I've been playing those all at the same time, so
really?
I've gotten my brain scrambled a little bit.
Are you playing the collections?
Yes, I'm playing them on the collections.
Oh, but
that advanced collection is great.
One thing I want to bring up is I know we did Portrait Ruin and we did Dawn of Sorrow, and I made multiple comments how this is never going to get re-released, and I have never been so happy to eat my words like I was. Like I just want to say thank you, Konami, for making me eat my words. This is a time and I'm okay with it.
I really should have bought that collection.
So I tried to buy it on Green Man Gaming because they had like a deal where I get it for like $21. I'm like, okay, I'll take a little bit of discount. But then it wouldn't work, and I found out later they sold out. So then I just went and bought it on Steam, paid full price of $25. Went, whatever.
Yeah, to get 3 games and then the arcade game and like the remaster of the arcade game,
I might play that.
$25 is the deal of the fucking century, man.
No, and
that's really not bad.
I'm just a cheap bastard.
No, I know you like to get everything on sale, and so do I. But like when this came out, and I was like, oh, it's probably going to be $40, so I'll wait for it to be on sale. As soon as I saw that it was $25, I was like, fuck it, I'm getting this thing. Like
I just can't
these games are too good.
Oh, they are. Like this was the one Castlevania game of all the Iga Vanias. Like I still need to cover 2 others on the show at some point, Harmony and Circle of Moon, which I need to replay both. But like I was surprised how good this game is. Like everything. It makes me wish we would have gotten more. I mean, we did get Bloodstained, which essentially is the next one of the series.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it makes me sad that there's not more because I really love this game.
Yeah, I was shocked when I played this. I was like, I expected to like it less than I did before, and I actually liked it way, way more. And yeah, it's so good looking, and to see it on. The Steam Deck is not like a huge screen, but it's way bigger than that DS screen. And I had it so that it was like, I had it oriented so that it was like the screen that you're playing on is really big. And then the 2 on the sides are smaller.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. The way that they do it, I'm going to sell this Dominus collection, but like to see this stuff look that good on that big of a screen, And then the information that's over on the side, the map, and like there's even a little screen that tells you like how much XP you need to get to the next level.
Mhm.
And it's like all this information that's like right there in front of your face. I'm like, this is so like it's a pleasure to play these games more than it was before, because everything is right there in front of your face. You don't have to pause for any reason except to like change out your equipment or whatever.
Or heal yourself.
I will say, if you're playing on the DS or the 3DS or whatever, it's just select. Like, is
the
it
switch screens on the bottom?
No. I mean, like, you're talking about the two different screens on the side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All that information is on the DS also. You just have to press select to change between them.
Oh, so you can't. Yeah, but
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can do
that's
that.
what I mean.
You can do that in all the DS games that are in the
But we didn't
Dominus
have to press
collection.
the button.
No. I'm just saying what you see
Yeah.
in the Dominus collection, where you've got the map and then below it you've got the
Mhm.
status screen. You just press select to switch between those two on the. You don't have to like pause or anything.
I still can't believe that they did this. Like, I mean, and the price
Yeah.
of $25. I was like, the one reason I bought it too is I'm like, I have talked so much shit about Konami about never re-releasing these games. Like, I gotta put my money where my mouth is. So I just paid the
Yeah.
$25 and said, well, you deserve it, Mike. You've been talking so much shit. Well, you have to buy this at this point. And so much shit recordedly. Like, I've done this on the podcast. I mean, I know what Konami's listening to me, I'm sure, but like, I'm like, I have talked enough that I have to put my money where my mouth. I gotta buy this damn game.
yeah, it was hard to go back to the advance games after the DS ones came out, and it
Fair.
did have the map right there. And now I'm gonna say it's gonna be hard to go back to the DS with it all being on the same screen. And again, it being big and it's still looking as good as it did on that big, huge screen. I was like, I was, absolutely blown away by this collection.
I don't
And-
ever see, like, there's no reason to go back and play the DS version now. And I'm just so thankful that so many people can now enjoy these three games that never could have, because you have it on the Switch, you have it on, PS4 or PS5, like you have it on Steam. Like, so many people can finally play these damn games.
Mhm.
Like, I remember when they got announced, and I'm like, please be Steam also, because I don't give a shit about Switch. Like, put this on Steam. Like, I'm not buying it on Switch.
Yeah, and it's nice because these games, if you want to not pirate them, if you want to buy the actual cartridges, they're expensive.
Mhm.
Like, even for just the cartridge, these Castlevania games are expensive. So to put them in a collection of the three of them for $25, and you can, I mean, I'm sure even my shitty laptop can run these games. To have something like this be that accessible to everyone is really, really cool.
But Colby, don't you feel bad that now the people that held on to the game is worth less money now? Don't you feel bad?
I have all of these games, and no, I don't feel sorry, because I want
I feel
people to play
physical
these games.
pleasure. I feel a physical pleasure, that it like a wonderful little like tickle every time I think of collectors losing value on their collections. Because I'm sorry, fuck you guys for ruining retro gaming
No,
Yeah.
completely.
by buying games to put them on a damn shelf.
Mhm.
Fuck off. I'm glad.
I
Sorry.
mean, no, you're fine. It's now like
Controversial
50,
opinion, I guess. But
$50 or $60 for it, or like 70 for a complete in box. Now on eBay, I swear this is well over $100, $200.
Absolute, yeah, they were 100%
Mhm.
over 100.
yeah, they were like $150.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it actually makes a lot of sense that they put this out. I was just looking at Konami's website and their current like games you can buy from their website. We've got the Metal Gear Solid collection, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, we've got the Suikoden collection, the
That's
Dominus,
finally coming
the
out.
Castlevania Dominus collection, the Castlevania Advance collection, the Contra collection, the Shooters collection, the 50th anniversary collection. They're really probably making a lot of money from these collections recently. And I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see Konami back in the video game business, even if it's just putting out their old stuff.
That's
and
fine.
Konami's like retro stuff, amazing.
Yeah.
Their NES stuff, people say about, the Nintendo first party stuff. A lot of people love, who made Mega Man?
Capcom.
People love those Capcom games. The Konami games on the NES, my absolute favorite NES games. All of them are Konami.
Yeah, and
all
even
the way up through the PlayStation 2, Konami was just making banger after banger.
They really were. Konami was a sign, like Konami and Capcom were like a sign of quality.
Yeah.
When you bought an NES game as a kid or a Super Nintendo game as a kid.
No,
And
this makes me so happy to exist.
And nobody makes better music on the NES than Konami does, or Konami did.
I didn't listen to music in this game, by the way.
Oh my God.
Not much of it.
So I did, and I was really surprised when I got to Dracula's Castle that it didn't start playing Vampire Killer.
Yeah.
I was like, no, come on. That was the perfect, it was right there.
The Dracula's Castle theme is very good.
It is.
I don't think even Symphony of the Night, like the music is really good, but I don't think it's to the level of classic Castlevania.
I don't know why I didn't have sound on for this game, but I really didn't for majority of this game. I do play horror games with sound on usually, but this isn't really a horror game.
I wouldn't call this a horror game.
It's not, but it is in our Spooktober.
It's a horror themed game.
Yes.
The Castlevania series is horror themed,
and I wanted to play it, so that's why it's here. And I make so
it's your podcast. You decide what's spooky enough.
I did Spectre Night, which came out a couple of days ago or a week ago, depending when you're hearing this or more. I mean, that's not a spooky themed. So I just wanted to put it up there.
What the hell is that?
Shovel Knight, Spectre Knight campaign.
Oh, okay. I didn't love Shovel Knight as much as a lot of people did, but
that's fair.
Oh, I love Shovel Knight. I did
Same.
not. I never finished Spectre Knight, but
Spectre Knight's good. Plague Knight, tough as hell to play at first, and I haven't played King Knight yet. Hopefully next year.
I played Plague Knight. That's what I played.
Plague Knight's garbage.
I didn't play Spectre Knight. I played Plague Knight. I liked it. It wasn't the same.
It took me a while to like it. I thought it was complete utter garbage until I beat it, until I got the hang of it after like 3 hours of suffering. I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. But there's a lot of pain involved.
I definitely don't. I definitely see, like, I can realize that the Shovel Knight games or that Shovel Knight game is really good. It's just not my type of thing.
Oh, so I have a question for this game. There's one glyph that I never got. Well, there's more than the one I never got, but one that stood out is it was on top of like a cave, but there's like a fan blowing you. And did you guys ever get that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just took a bunch of tries.
Yeah, and it's not.
It's not.
I don't know if it was a piece of equipment or if it was a rune.
It's a rune. It's a rune. That's what makes it hard because you have to hold down the up button before you slide off the platform.
Yeah.
You just have to time it just right.
No, there was a rune that I got. It was either a rune or a piece of equipment that was like stops you from getting blown away. And I was like, once I got that, I was like, I know where to use this. And then I equipped it, and then it didn't help.
No,
it's a mistranslation.
Yeah, I was like,
I got it too. I got all excited, and I looked online, and you're supposed to like get a ring that lets you recover from your jumps faster, and like jump on the very edge, and then press up, and then you'll get it just in time. And I tried a couple times, and I walked away.
It was definitely a huge pain in the ass.
The trick was to land on the right side of the platform.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I just couldn't get it, and I just didn't care enough.
Yeah,
I did other
got it and then ended up
stuff.
not using it.
I killed 30 owls just because the lady told me to for one of the quests. So I did plenty of meaningless things in this game instead. I did every quest except for there were 2 quests I didn't finish. The jewel lady wants some like really rare jewel that you can get in like the secret dungeons, and then I also was supposed to kill the secret boss in the large cavern, and I went fuck no, and then left. And then beat the game. Because the large cavern, even like I'm like, I have save states, I have all the money I need, so I have all the healing items I want, and I'm like, this is still hard. I'm just going to ignore it. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like doing the bonus stuff. And I mean, I would have if I felt like I had more time. But
it also didn't have checkpoints. Like in Dawn of Sorrow, there's checkpoints. Once you go through a section, you can then warp back to that section. The large cavern in this game is all just one thing.
I was going to say, because there's the teleport things in the regular levels, but not in that level. Yeah.
It doesn't give you that. I do want to talk about some of the bosses because I remember some I liked, some I didn't. I didn't like the giant fish. It was fine, but I didn't like it.
The giant fish was a pain in the ass fight.
Yes.
The sand one, like the one that's in the sand. Yeah, that one. I mean, the big thing to remember is that it's a fish, and so it's weak to ice and electricity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant the fish that you had to float through. Oh no, wait. What? Or was that in Dawn of Sorrow? God damn it!
Game.
I think you're thinking of Dawn of Sorrow.
There's a sandfish in here. There's no The only water boss you have in here is like the nymph demon that summons giant waves, and you got to like hide behind her blocks that she makes.
Yeah, but even though it's in the sand, it still is weak to the same stuff that a water fish would be weak to. So you just have to.
I just wasn't prepared for it, right?
Yeah, I mean I was using the guide, and the guide was like, make sure you use ice and electricity, which my only electricity power sucked, so I didn't use it very much. In fact, I didn't use it at all, never successfully. But my ice power was good, and the ice power fucked it up pretty good.
Yeah, it did some damage. I hadn't really started grinding yet till later in the game. I didn't grind a whole bunch till Dracula's castle. That's when I went a little overboard and just started finishing all the quests.
Yeah, I didn't really grind at all. I grinded like for like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there when I was like, ooh, I'm going to try to get this rare drop. And then I'd do it for 10 minutes, be like, I don't feel like doing this. I'm not going to get the rare drop. That's fine.
The only time I would grind was when, again, because all that information was right in front of my face, when I was like 5,000 experience points away from a new level. I'm like, all right, I'll go grind a couple of like Frankensteins to upgrade. But other than that.
Oh, and did you guys know why he was capturing all these people and taking their blood?
No, I didn't actually pay attention to the story at all.
Because he's trying to find descendants of the Belmonts. That's what he's up to. Because he's trying to find a way to get both of them out of their curse, because they're supposed to die to bring Dracula back. So he's trying to find the Belmonts. Which
Okay.
I don't know where it is in the game, but long before this podcast, I got into a huge Castlevania kick. And there's a timeline video where the guy goes through every single game and how they fit in the timeline. And that's how I know the story of this game.
Okay.
I love Castlevania lore. Like, it is so good. I mean, it's so good that you could also skip it in these games because it's not shoved down your throat. It's just there. But as a guy who's watched complete timeline, this is part of the era when the Belmonts are missing. And that's when you play a bunch of other characters.
Okay.
Because of Richter fucked everything up for them.
So this game is chronologically, it's in the 1800s. So this is after the Symphony of the Night era.
Oh, I know that for sure.
And before Bloodlines. It's in between Bloodlines and Symphony of the Night.
Circle Moon is no longer considered canon.
Yeah, I'm just looking at I'm on the Castlevania wiki, looking at the chronological order. And
they took it out of canon because of something that happens in it that didn't fit with what they wanted later.
You're talking about Circle of the Moon?
Yeah, I forget the reasoning, but it's been taken out of canon for something like that.
Look, Circle of the Moon is fine, but you can take it out of the canon and nobody's going to miss anything.
No,
it's not that good.
Yeah, no, okay, this is the first game then after
Symphony.
Symphony Night, okay.
Yeah, so Symphony of the Night is 1797 AD. This is 18-something AD. Unknown 1800 something.
Question marks, like, we don't know.
Yeah, it's just in the 1800s. And then
it's Bloodlines, and then it's Portrait of Ruin.
Yes.
Right, Bloodlines, Portrait of Ruin, then Aria, then Dawn, which take place in our time.
And we will never get the one that takes place before Dawn.
I'll say Aria of Sorrow takes place in 10 years or 11 years from now.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to make that joke, and if I remember, I'm sure the internet will make that joke for me, and I can make the joke on the podcast too. So
we got 11 years till the Aria of Sorrow.
I still want that damn Castlevania game for 1999, but I don't think I'm never.
Oh, the Julius Belmont one?
Yeah. When he kills Dracula. I want that, so it's never happening, but I want that.
Maybe they'll make it into an anime, put it on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that too.
I'm okay with that too.
That actually makes sense. Those are really good.
Yeah, they are. I've been meaning to cover them for this podcast at some point.
Yeah, I'm like casual.
I'm in.
I'm like internet friends with someone that works on that show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
they're good. I enjoyed most of the first. I haven't watched Nocturne yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, I haven't either yet.
I
like the Castlevania series a lot.
I'm halfway through Nocturne. It's a lot less goofy, but it's a lot. Better? I don't know. I think it is better. I think it's better technically.
Yeah,
but it's missing a little bit of heart. So I think
I didn't enjoy the horniness of like was it the second or third season of
the second season is so horny. I love it.
It's too horny. I'm just not into that.
Wasn't it
like
the third season too? Like the third and fourth season? No, the fourth season is pretty horny too, I think.
Oh, I thought there was
Is that
only
the
3
s-
seasons.
Is that the season that Alucard had a threesome with twins?
That's the fourth.
That's
Oh
the
my
fourth-
god,
that's
I
the fourth
loved
season.
it so
Okay.
much.
The first one is
Yeah.
6 episodes, which is really nothing. The second season is where is essentially Castlevania 3.
Right.
The third season is them at that little like monastery town for the whole season, where you find out the monk is a freaking killing children and stuff.
Right.
And then the fourth season has to do more with one of the people from Castlevania 3, the Curse of Darkness game, being the slave of the hot, sexy vampire.
Right. One of the I can't remember his name, but he's one of the like blacksmiths, basically.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like
It has to do with both of
demonic
them,
blacksmith.
Isaac and something else.
Isaac, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't that was where I fell off. I didn't go for that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
no, it was so
the
horny.
first 2 seasons in particular I really liked, but anyway,
I'm gonna have to
I'll
rewatch
definitely
that
check out
series.
Nocturne.
I like.
Nocturne's really good.
And,
I think you'll
that
enjoy it.
same studio also made the Terminator one and the Lara Croft one.
And the Animusha one too, I think.
I don't know about that. I just have
Okay. There's an Animusha one.
I say internet friend. I'm in a Discord and I've been on one of the editors. He has a podcast. I've been on a few times.
Nice.
And I'm in their Discord and I do their Patreon and all that. So, but I think that's so I don't want to be all like, oh, it's my buddy. It's like, parasocial. But
Been on the show. I mean, that counts for
Hey,
yeah.
something. Hey, at some point when I ever visit Dallas and Austin, Texas, you're one of the people.
oh
I'm
well,
gonna
yeah.
meet for
Well, no,
sure.
we're actually no. You and I are friends.
Okay.
You and I are friends.
Another thing I want to bring up is I think this game does good by holding back Dracula's castle because you still get
Mhm.
so much game before then.
Oh yeah. I thought the game was about to be over when I got to Dracula's castle.
Yeah,
and there's
it
still
makes you think it
a
is. It
few
feels
hours.
like it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
kill Albus. Albus tells you, "Hey, why don't you go talk to our the guy that so-called rescued us?" And that's when you find out he's like, "Yeah, you were meant to die to resurrect Dracula, not
Mhm.
not kill him."
Yeah, I felt like that was coming. I was like, oh yeah, no, this tracks.
Yeah, but Dracula's castle is nice and long enough, but it's also not too long. It's again like perfect. It's like a perfect length thing. It's like you've gotten through most of this game. Here's your castle, like as a reward.
Yeah,
But we're not
geographically,
gonna-
it's. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we're not going to keep you in the castle for another 8 hours. It's going to be a 3-hour castle, and then you can get out of here, and then you can have a little crown icon on your save file that says that you got the good ending.
Yeah, I was going to say it. Geographically, it's probably not a lot smaller than Aria of Sorrow. I would think.
I don't know. I had no complaints with this game. Like the enemy sprites are well done. There's enough variety with stuff. Like the game isn't. It definitely has more challenge than some of the other ones that we played for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not impossible. Like
no,
I used save states twice, and they were both in Dracula's castle, and they were both because I knew a save bot was coming up, but it was so long since I was at the last one. I was like, I don't want to have to do all of this again. So I did use
fair.
save spots, but like I didn't use them during any of the fights or anything, and like most of the areas. And I'm not like saying, oh, I didn't use save states. I'm just saying I didn't have to use save states, so like it's not impossible to play.
Oh yeah, no, I
You
didn't
can
have
play
save
through this
states. I didn't have save states, and I found it harder than the other Iga Vanias, but still not that hard. Like
Yeah, for sure.
I did definitely die. I probably died like 30 or 40, maybe 30 or 40 times total.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Well, not counting. Well, maybe more than that, because I mean, there's definitely some bosses that I tried like 15, 20 times, but that's pretty normal. Like that's Dark Souls numbers. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Also, I was completely wrong. It's like the Dracula's castle is like a fourth the size of Aria of Sorrow's castle.
It's
I always underestimate how big Aria of Sorrow is because it's on the GBA. But yeah, no, I thought it was fun. The Dracula fight at the end was maybe easier than it should have been, but nope, maybe not. Maybe it was just
there's a story reason for that. It's because he's weaker and he wasn't supposed to be resurrected yet.
oh. Well, I mean, I doubt. I mean, that's a story
No, I know, but
explanation, but
That's what
it is basically just the phase 1
Yep.
Dracula fight from the original NES game, from the third NES game, and from Symphony of the Night. It's the exact same. You have a tall Dracula in a tuxedo shooting fireballs at you and summoning bats. And then second phase, he does some flip kicks at you and summons some spectral wolves and jumps forward and sucks your blood and heals himself.
Those wolves are a pain in the ass.
So I was using can't remember what it's called, but it's the one you get from the Nova Skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
The like Destructo beam is like Kamehameha. I was using that, and that just shredded the wolves. I would just crouch and use that, and the wolves would run into it and die immediately. So the wolves weren't a problem. I would flip. So I had that on the X button, and on the Y button, I had the Vol Luminatus that shoots the like homing orb of holy light, right? Yep. I was using that. And then whenever he would summon the bats, I would switch, which I figured out my fat fingers, I couldn't switch fast enough. So I would pause and switch to the next set of glyphs on the pause menu.
Oh, you know what has good buttons for switching? Steam Deck.
Oh, does it? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like what you do is you have to press A, hold down A, and then press R or L to flip between your glyph sets.
Oh, wow. On the Steam Deck, it's just press Y.
No, it can't be. Because you have four inputs. It was
just a button press.
Right, but you have 4 inputs.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you have 4 inputs. You have X, you have an X attack, a Y attack, an R aura, and then B is jump and A is switch. So you're saying you just press A, I guess, to switch, to flip through them, or I guess B if you're on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think it's B.
So it just flips through them. You don't hold it down and press up. Yeah, I mean, I guess why do you have to hold down A and press R on the DS? Why not just make it the A button?
Because Nintendo actively hates its users.
Well, I know what it is. It's so that if you're on A and you want to get to C instantly, you press AL. And if you want to go from A to B, you press AR. I get it, but I'd rather just have to press A twice. That's faster than holding down A and also pressing R at the same time, for me anyway. But anyway, I just paused and switched. And on my second one, I had the maximum shield, the mole scutum, and I would turn that on, and that would block any attack he does. It would 100% block, except for his grab attack where he jumps forward and sucks your blood, which he only does in phase 2. So I would just as soon as I saw him summon the bats, I would do that, block the bats, and just the first wave of bats, and then the next wave goes over your head, and you can run forward and get in some hits. So I got that first phase down to where I could get through the first phase without ever getting hit. That second phase is where I had to use every single healing item.
Yeah, I got it to the point where I used the scythe, the maximum scythe, the shield, and the beam, and I didn't have to switch at all.
Well, you do have to switch.
I had my Dominuses loaded up on my second,
But you would have to switch because that's three active glyphs.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
it's been.
But no, he is right.
To use all 3 of those, you'd have to switch. I know what you're saying though. And then on the R, on the R, I was using the I was using the wings, so I could every time he would shoot fire, I would use the wings and fly across the room. And anytime you fly, he summons this purple fire, but he summons it wherever you were when you activated the wings. So you just jump forward as you activate them, and then he summons the fire behind you. And you can sit there and just rain attacks on him. It's really neat.
Yeah, it was almost a disappointingly easy Dracula fight.
Well, the first phase was. The second phase was still pretty hard for me. I died several times. I got caught by that grab attack that sucks your blood several times. Oh yeah,
that one's bad.
It's just a matter of maybe I was backflipping.
Oh yeah,
kind of constantly.
Yeah, so you got to backflip out of it, and I was I would always get caught flat-footed by him on that grab attack. But I would just as soon as he grabbed me, I would just pause and just start, or I would wait till he sucked me almost kill me, and he throws you on the ground. And as he throws me on the ground, I just pause, minestrone. Just pound minestrone like I'm at Olive Garden.
That was good soup. I had a really hard time with the stupid Dominus thing when you had to do it at the very end of the fight, because I didn't know I had to do press a certain button combination to make it do what it was supposed to do. I didn't. I had to Google it because I was very confused. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You press up and any attack.
Yeah.
But you have to have all 3. I just had all 3 of those on my C glyph, and so as soon as it said that, I just flipped to him, which the guide told me to do it, but I should have known. One thing I like that you get too late to have any fun with is the Cerberus glyphs.
Barely use them.
Yeah, they're really powerful, but they do dark, and like everything in Dracula's castle is strong against dark. So it's like, well, this could be cool
Yeah, they're
if
fun
you
to
got
look
this
at, though.
elsewhere in the game. Yeah, it's very cool because like the aura, you just have this like spectral wolf head over you, and
I
then
liked-
and then each of them you like punch with a wolf head, basically.
I kind of kept the wall thing going all the time because I liked the way that looked, and it doesn't like drain your energy as it's on.
I really appreciated
So
that none of the auras drain your energy. Yeah.
Yeah, so just for aesthetics, I was going around with her like glowing and like a couple of orbs orbiting around her. I was
Late
like, this
late
rules.
game, I was running around with the one that increases your strength. It increases your attack by like plus 18 or something like that,
Yeah.
plus 15. It's
Yeah, it's
really powerful
insane.
if you're doing
Yeah.
physical attacks. But I also, what I would do is to like, I was simultaneously playing Balatro. And so whenever I would like go through a few rooms and I get low on health, once I had the room cleared and I knew I was safe, I would flip on, I'd flip on the glyph that heals you. And I just turn on the healing glyph, and then I would play Balatro until I was fully healed, and then pause my Balatro game and go back to this game. And so I was doing that while I was going through Dracula's castle.
Oh boy.
Made it take longer, but then I'm not, I wasn't having to like use up my healing items and magic ticket back and buy more or anything. I just, find a safe spot, turn on the healing aura, play a few hands of Balatro,
That's
jump
fair.
back in.
I did that a couple times. I didn't play Balatro, but I would put the Steam Deck down and then let the healing thing do its trick. I did do that a couple times. More than a couple. But that's also why this game had no sound. So
More than a few times I got too good of a run going on Balatro and forgot that I had my game playing. And I was like 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh yeah, Castlevania. Hold on.
hey, I'm fully healed. Woo!
Yep.
I enjoyed the variety too of this game, just in general. Like we were talking about the areas. It just makes me sad that this was the last Iga Vania game we get.
Other than a Bloodstain, yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Bloodstain
working,
and Circle of the Moon.
they're working on Bloodstain too. So
Are they?
That's what I read. I read something
Bloodstain
that
was
they
like,
were working on.
how many years has it been since Bloodstain?
Oh, I
Hey,
mean,
when
it was
you're-
like 2015, 2017.
Yeah, when you're an
something like that.
independent studio like that, and you gotta
2019.
scrounge, like it takes as long as it takes, and I'll take it if it's as good as Bloodstained 1 and it comes out 10 years after Bloodstained 1. I'll still take it. I mean,
I don't know why
waited
I'm
10
complaining.
years
I don't-
for a new Metroid.
I don't play new games anyway, so I don't know why I'm talking. But the Wall Master fight I thought was funny because I didn't know how to kill him at first, and so I looked up a guide that said just steal his rune when he goes inside the wall. I'm like, oh, okay. And he just dies.
Yep, I remembered that from before. The the boss fight that I had the most problem with was that giant crab thing
I did not like him.
that you had to, because
Just crawling
Again,
up the tower.
Yes.
yeah, I
Yeah, that
under
was
level,
very annoying.
and I would get it to the last like section, and then I would always get hit with something dumb that I wasn't paying attention. By that point I was like annoyed, and like I knew what I had to do, but I was like messing up because I just wanted it to be done with.
Yeah.
And then like when I finally did it, I'm like, I can't believe I just died like 10 times when I was 2 seconds away from finishing this stupid fight. But it does end so cool.
I did not realize you had to go on top of the elevator, so I got where the elevator was, and I sat there and just kept fighting him. Like, God, this should end. And then I looked up, and I watched the video, like, oh, I just jumped up and dropped the elevator on him. But yeah, it was so damn cool.
Yeah, I love shit like that. There's a lot of gimmicky fights in this where it's like, oh, you just have to do one weird thing to beat this boss. It's almost like a Metal Gear game.
That's fair.
So FYI about Bloodstained, the sequel was announced 3 years ago. There's been no progress updates.
Oh,
But the director, Shutaro Ida, Curry Boy, who was like one of the directors throughout the DS series and all that,
Yes.
he announced this month, just 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, that he is stepping away because he has cancer. So
I think that is actually what I read. I didn't remember quite what it was, but I was
an
like,
IGN article from October 1st. He announced that he was stepping away from the game. But specifically, they're working on Bloodstained 2, and he's taking time away while he deals with his cancer diagnosis. And then Iga was like, yeah, like he's incredibly big deal to this, and it's a really big blow, but we're going to keep working on it until he's better, you know.
Well, I hope he does get better, because
I hope he does get better. Yeah, that does suck. He's young. Yeah. He looks young anyway. He looks my age. So,
yeah, they all.
Which I guess I'm not young.
You're still young.
I'm always surprised. Like even Miyamoto. Like whenever I see these guys, I'm like, these guys look 15 years younger than I think they should look, because they've been around since like I was a kid. But they were like pretty young back then. Like, yeah. So yeah, they're not that old. But yeah, it's always surprising when I see like Igarashi or, you know, Kojima. It's like Kojima looks like he's my age.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say Iga looks like he's in his 50s. Ida looks like he's in his 40s. But Ida started working for Konami in 1996. So yeah, he's probably like 10 years older than me, or 5 years older than me. So yeah.
I graduated high school in 97, so he's probably
okay. That's right. You're like the one person in the Games of Mom Found family that's older than me. That's right.
Yep.
I'll say, because I graduated in 01. So
yeah, I'm a million years old.
No, Bill might be older. Bill's 40 early 40s.
Yeah, so am I. But
okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Anyway,
that doesn't matter.
Sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail us.
It's fine.
Yeah. So Bloodstained 2 eventually, and it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be great when it comes out.
And I'll take it. I'll take it whenever it comes out, even if it takes another 10 years. I'm still excited for it.
I don't know why as a huge Bloodstained. I mean, I love Bloodstained.
I did too.
It's one of my favorite Metroidvanias. And to then play this and be like, oh man, they just took a lot of stuff from Order of Ecclesia. Like I knew, like playing it, I'm like, oh man, they took so much stuff from Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow. And I'm like, oh no, they took straight up the game, the like entire story, the storyline, the main characters, the look of the main characters, the main antagonist. This is all Order of Ecclesia.
But it still looks, it looks, I don't know, Bloodstained looks fine, but
again, I think Bloodstained looks great. But yes, I love this pixel art.
Yeah,
but hey, to be fair, in 2019, the only way to play Order of Ecclesia was DS. So they're like, hey, no one's played this game anyway because it didn't probably sell great. So
hey. True.
I wonder if that's why Castlevania's like, oh, we got to get this, or Konami's like, we got to get this out there so people know it was us. I doubt that had anything to do with it, but I'm just happy that I just can't get over how many jokes I made about this collection about these games never coming out, and here they are. I just can't get over that.
Yeah, and I just heard that they were putting out the original Metal Gears. The what was that on? They're
out. The Metal Gear. I mean MSX. The original Metal Gear 1 and 2 are MSX.
Yeah, they're available in a couple of different collections. Yeah.
They've been around since the PS2 era, but I'm happy that they're being re-released.
I think. Are you talking about the Master Collection that just came out recently?
Not the Metal Gear Solids. I knew them from the NES, but they were for like a PC before that.
Metal Gear 2
MSX
Solid Snake.
They're for the MSX PC system.
Okay.
The Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, I'm pretty sure the bonus material in it is those games. I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Or you can buy them separately on Steam.
It includes Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear, and then Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, and then Metal Gear NES version, and then Snake's Revenge. Okay. So yeah, it's got both the MSX games and both the NES games, and all three of the PS1, PS2 games.
I might buy that.
Yeah, I almost bought it right now, like while we were talking. When I was looking at those Konami collections, I was like, oh yeah, I haven't bought this yet. And I like logged into Steam and looked at it, and it wouldn't let me put it on the wish list because on Steam, you can't buy it as a title. You buy each of the titles individually, or you buy it as a package. And Steam, you know how Steam does the packages? And Steam doesn't let you wish list a package.
You have to wish list,
which is dumb. You have to wish list each game in it individually. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want to wish list this and wait for it to go on sale. So I'm actually on the PSN store right now, wishlisting it on there instead. So, because I'm not going to pay $60 for it because I literally own all these games already.
Well, I want to talk about the death fight in this game too, which it wasn't bad.
The death fight was easy compared to some of the other ones in the series, I think.
I found I had a hard time with him, but that's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like, oh, it was easy. I just meant
No,
I
you're fine.
thought it was easier than it tends to be.
You are right. Like there are some really hard death fights in some of the games. I think Portrait of Ruin had a hard death fight, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm again thinking of Bloodstained. Bloodstained, I think, has a death fight in it, doesn't it?
I can't remember.
I
don't remember.
I can't remember now.
So much of Castlevania in this game in particular, but I haven't played Bloodstained in a few years. It's on this podcast. You were on it. I think it's 2020 or 2021. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was something like that.
It's been a while. So
I think, surprisingly, Dawn of Sorrow has a disgustingly hard death fight.
That's the one I was thinking of, Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, it's disgustingly hard.
Yeah,
well, Dawn of Sorrow, I can't really say a lot because I played that game completely wrong. So that whole game was hard for me.
Yes,
right.
you did.
I
But do want to
any
replay it.
souls, right?
I didn't. I haven't uninstalled the Dominus collection from my Steam Deck yet because I'm like, I need to play Dawn of Sorrow again, and I want to play Portrait of Ruin again. So I'm just going to leave them there and see if I do or not.
It can't be taking up that much room anyway.
It does.
The Dawn of Sorrow remake in that collection, I remembered like the seals from this game. I thought you had to seal the bosses in this game.
No,
but it's Dawn of Sorrow.
It's only Dawn of Sorrow that did that.
The way
bullshit.
they do it in Dawn of Sorrow in the Dominus collection is so bad because it's button presses and it's so annoying.
Yeah, you still have to do it. Like,
They should have patched it out as garbage.
Like instead of having to draw it, you have to do like A B R A B X.
Exactly. It's really bad.
That's worse to me.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Because some of them are really long. Like towards the end of them, they're really long.
It's like 8 or 9 button presses at the end of it, I think. Yeah.
That's too much. Because the ROM I played just had it all patched out, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so you just press a button. Yeah.
I'm gonna look. I'll bet you there's a thing to like turn it off so that it just does it automatically.
Yeah, are there mods yet? It's on PC. There got to be mods, right?
Well, there will be if they're not yet.
Yeah. I can't imagine that wouldn't be the first mod that somebody would do.
Another boss I want to talk about is that giant mechanical centaur that you have to like climb on to beat.
Yeah, that rules.
That fucker was hard.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. It was. I didn't know what I had to do at first.
Same.
I was also doing that boss fight while watching the last like 30 minutes of Tombstone, and I kept like looking. I kept like getting distracted by the movie and then dying. And like I actually ended up pausing Tombstone so I could finish the fight.
It's a hard fight. I mean, I say that, but then I watched the speedrun of it, and she pretty much just like flew up onto the back and then just murdered him.
Mm-hmm.
Not with the wing power, but with some like, I don't know, some soul she got from the training room that lets you like follow along with the blade, and she uses that to like get everywhere. So,
I think I slid under the back legs. You can slide.
Yeah, you can get
to a lot of weird ways, and if you have healing, you can slide out from under his back legs and jump on the back. That's how I did.
I beat up his first leg and killed the crossbow. Then I slid underneath his legs, hid under there, fought the other crossbow, or fought both crossbows, and then I eventually worked my way and get on his back.
Then you slide whenever he jumps up in the air. You slide behind him, break his back legs, jump on his back, hit him in the back of the head. The one thing is that his legs and the crossbows are weak to holy and strike, but the eye in the back of his head is weak to slashing.
Okay.
And so you gotta, if you want, I mean, it'll be easier if you switch glyphs whenever you get on his back. What would have really made that fight a lot easier is the wings, because it was really easy to get thrown off his back also.
Yeah. I was scything everything. Those scythes are so good.
Yeah. The scythe is good. I like the axes. I use the axes on those crossbows. I love the axes. Too. What I never found useful were the bows. Even when you get the final one that homes in.
Mm-hmm. Never used them. They never did enough damage.
Yeah.
You get the throwing knives, and those look cool, but they do so little damage.
Yeah.
Same with the lightning. The lightning does like so little damage, and you're like, it's really cool. It's just like a lightning bolt strikes out of the sky and hits them like 3 times for like 2 damage per hit. Like, cool. That's basically useless. By the way, there are mods for the Dominus collection already, but there's not one for fixing the seals.
Give them time.
Yeah.
I really have a feeling, I didn't screw with the settings, but I'll bet you there's a setting that lets you skip it.
I don't think there is, but that would be good if there were.
If not, somebody will patch it. So hey, at least I could play this game without having to download a fan-made patch for it to run on PC.
There you go.
Oh, next week's game. But yeah, it made me so appreciative that I can just play it without issues.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed playing it on my 3DS. I have a 3DS XL, so it's a big screen. It's not as big as the Steam Deck, but or Colby's TV, but it was nice.
All right, any other things to say about Order of Ecclessia? I think we said most things. All right, let's go to questions, comments, memories. I got a few. I'm always happy when people have stuff to say about games. Let's see here if I can figure out how the hell to make it. Facebook changed things, and all of a sudden I couldn't find. Oh, there we go. I was like, I'm not sure if it changed things or I just don't know how to click buttons. So, all right, I watched the entire Blood Super replay group from AJ Gonzalez. I used to have this game on the DS and then sold it like a moron. The past couple of months, I had been looking on eBay for a replacement copy, and boy, they are expensive. I was about to pull the trigger on one when the Dominus Collection was announced, and now I have more than one game, including the one I wanted, for half the price. But hey, but you made a stupid seller upset because now he can't sell his game for over $300.
Yeah, I'm sorry what I said earlier about the collectors. It's okay to collect
Don't
things.
be sorry.
Just don't drive up prices like that.
Yeah,
though.
it's
annoying.
fine to collect the shit, but like stop
Try to sell
paying that much for shit, because then people think that they can just then people can pay that much for that shit. And it's like,
don't be sorry. It was in 2020, it was a whole system of people that were just upping prices on video games and buying it from each other and things like that.
It's like money laundering, basically.
Yeah, it was like where Mario 3 sold, the graded version of Mario 3 sold like what, 100,000, some ridiculous amount. That was essentially just money laundering.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, don't get me wrong. I buy old broken video game consoles and fix them and then put them on a shelf and never play them. So I get it, but
you're not selling them.
Yeah, but I'm not flipping things. I hate flipping. I hate flipping culture.
That's a different. I mean, that's the problem, is that these people are using it
as currency.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And then you fuck over like, oh, you want to play my game?
Yeah.
That's different. That's when you're kind of being an ass about it. And then when you're purposely making the prices go up on games, in my opinion, which is what part of like the reselling market did, and ridiculous. Okay. And the other comment from Sebastian Games, do you happen to have a favorite extra mode from any of the Castlevania? I don't, because I don't play them. Do either of you?
Maybe Maria mode in Symphony of the Night, because she's such a unique character.
I liked the Julius mode in Aria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
It just, I mean, because that game was short enough so that replaying it as sort of a classic was not, daunting.
Yeah, because that's the thing with Symphony, is it's just so big to go through with Richter or Maria. It's just like... Yep.
I think I did Richter because I think you needed it on the 360 version to get all the achievements.
Yeah.
You did.
Oh, you know what? In Portrait of Ruin, the mode where you play as the two sisters is really interesting.
Oh yeah.
I didn't play it much, but it's really interesting because they fly everywhere. They hover and they do magic that you have to draw on the screen to do. It's an interesting swing. I don't know that it's my favorite, but it's an interesting swing. I'll cheat and say Zagamatsu or whatever mode in Bloodstained.
Bloodstained? I'll take it.
Yeah, where you play as the samurai guy. That's
it's essentially
cool.
a Castlevania game. So.
I liked the version in Bloodstained where you played as the kid from Child of Light.
Oh yes, that's my favorite. Yes,
Child of Light is a fantastic game.
Yes, what is her name?
So
Child
good.
of Light. That is a good game.
Aurora.
Yes, Aurora. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should do Child of Light sometime.
Oh, Child of Light is really good, and it's not that long.
I need to finish that. I never finished it, but I played through most of Bloodstained on Child of Light mode, Aurora mode. Yeah, that's my favorite, Aurora mode.
It's really good.
I'll take it. It's close enough to what we're talking about. So
yeah,
I mean, not that far off if we're going to be completely honest. So
yeah.
All right, and then from the official Laser Time community, from Andy Wright, I love how the three DS Castlevanias are sequels to different other Castlevanias. Dawn of Sorrow, Aria of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Bloodlines are the easy ones, but Iga pointed out that the Order of Ecclessia is a spiritual sequel of Simon's Quest.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I did not know that and would never have guessed it, but I can kind of see it. You're talking to villagers, you're doing quests.
Yep, I'm playing through Simon's Quest now, too, and it's way better than a lot of people give it credit for. It also has the best music.
I need to play it someday for this podcast.
Use a guide and you'll
you
be
bet
fine.
Wait, which one again?
Simon's Quest.
Simon's Quest.
Oh, yeah. I've never played all the way through that either, actually.
It gets a bad rap, but for the NES, like to do something that has that sort of blanking on the word I'm trying to think of, but like it's trying to do something different and interesting, and you can definitely see the Metroidvania like style developing in it. And it's got a bad translation, so some of the stuff is weird, but otherwise, like, it's a really good game.
Nice.
And from Andrew Sanders, Ecclessia means church, specifically the entire Christian church. Okay.
Yep.
I'll take it.
The Japanese name is Secret of the Seal or something like that. The Stolen Seal, which makes sense with the story of the game.
Yeah, it does. And from Raymond Fernandez, I feel like this one gets overlooked for the other 3DS ones, but it's my favorite. It is friggin' hard too. Secret best 3DS Castlevania.
Not secret. It's not a secret.
No, I think it's just the fact that it didn't exist without paying, unless you're going to pirate, paying some asshole $300 on eBay. So I think that played a big, because I swear this game was well over a few hundred.
Yeah.
Before recently.
It definitely. I don't know if people were burned out on this type of game by that point, but yeah, it didn't get very good reviews. I think people thought it was too hard. I think there was a lot of stuff that when you look back on it and you're like, all right, this is what this game is. And people are more used to this type of thing now that they're less, inclined to talk shit on this game.
Yeah, maybe it was just the fact that we have 3 in a row, and people are like, oh man, we just had 3 of these. Well, guess what? You ain't getting more, so you better appreciate it.
Yeah.
And from Jimmy Heelsman, a pitch-perfect Holman/spiritual successor to Simon's Quest with some of the most beautiful and intricate sprites I've ever seen in a handheld title.
Thank you for saying what I had been saying this entire episode.
And from the Metroidvania group, from Rob Williams, where do you rank it in the Castlevania Metroidvanias?
Third.
I would say third too, but my order of my second one is not the same as any of you, I'm sure.
No. Well, if you're putting Metroids in, then it's 5, because there are 2 Metroids that I'd rather play.
Oh yeah, I mean, of the Iga Vanias, I'd say third. Yeah, I'd say third for Iga Vanias, most likely.
For me, it's Symphony, Portrait, and then this.
That's insane.
I would say Symphony, Aria, and then this. Yeah.
I'm going to replay Portrait now at some point, but I'm so busy. We'll see. Right, and then from Joseph Lieberger, probably the most difficult for the GBA and DS titles, only one I've never finished.
You should finish it. It's great.
Especially buy the Dominus collection and play with save states if you have to, and hey, you can finish it. And from a Castlevania group, from Omar E, quite hard yet beautiful. My favorite Castlevania. When I first finished it, rewarded by that track to the main menu, Welcome to Legend, I felt so emotional. The bonus stages and modes are super challenging and entertaining. The music was amazing. Shinoa is amazing. The art style was a correct step away from that anime style. The intro and main theme are super. The diversity of glyphs was so good. Nearly each and every weapon is enjoyable to try. The graphics are the best in all 2D Metrovanias, and the ending was touching.
Correct. All of that is right.
And I have to read this one from Drew Brewer. Well, first of all, my mom introduced me to Castlevania as well.
Nice.
Mom didn't, but yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, he wasn't making fun of me, so that's extra points. He's actually
yay.
From Joey Icard, played it years ago, don't really remember much about it. Play it again.
All right.
And from Eon Leonard, it reminded me of the old Ys games a bit, with the separate areas and difficulty spikes. That crab boss in the tower really lets you know this ain't some cushy playthrough.
Yeah.
I was surprised somebody mentioned the Ys, or however you pronounce the Y game, that series. That surprised me.
Yeah, I've never played it. I've never played any of those.
I played 1 and 2. They're not anything like this, but they're good.
Yeah, they'll say they're like JRPGs where you like bump into people to attack them, right?
The first 2, yes, that goes away. But it also depends on which one you play, because some are side scrollers like Castlevania. Some are of the same game that was remade are top down. Like, it's such a weird freaking series. So that's.
Hey, I have to go. I got to go to work. Can I do my plugs and tell you that I'm putting this on the shelf?
Yes, please do all that.
You can check me out on Jack Billings Presents. It is a scripted comedy podcast. The new season starts November 5th, and you're going to love it. You can also check out This Bizarre Adventure, which is where we talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode by episode. Also a delightful podcast. And yeah, I'm going to put this on the shelf displayed because not only is it a great game, it also has a great cover, and everyone should play this.
All right, thank you, Colby.
All right, and I will see you next week in reality and whenever that comes out and this comes out. But I'll be on soon.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Later, Colby.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but this is like, they went away from the whole anime style for the covers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Cutscenes.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but I can see why some people didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't, I liked it fine, but I didn't care.
Too. But some people get really upset. Maybe it was a different thing in the early 2000s. People get upset about anime style stuff.
Yeah, people, I don't know. People get upset about all sorts of things.
And I got 2 more to read from Irving Laura. Mine's quite easy. Overall, I love Castlevania, but 2 of them have a special place in my heart. Castlevania 3 and Order of Ecclessia. Castlevania 3 was the third one I played after CV1 and 4. The challenge of gameplay with the other characters are awesome. Then I got to play Order of Ecclessia. Female lead. Art direction was superb. The OST, Elvis, Dracula's design. After that, I named both of my kids as Trevor and Shanoa. It's pretty cool. And hey, they're names that people probably won't really know what the reference to because they're
wow,
not
that's something.
I mean, Shanoa's a pretty name, and it's not like a name where like people that name their kid Daenerys, like everyone, if that's one of those more like people, or if you name your kid Zelda or Link, like or something of that nature, is much more like people are gonna know. But this is something that's kind of lesser known. So
yeah, I know. I mean, I met some people the other day whose kids are Fuego and Tyrion. So
is that Game of Thrones?
Yeah, Tyrion. Yeah.
Okay. What is Fuego from?
That's just fire.
Oh,
just
okay.
They're white. It's Spanish for fire.
Okay.
I'm just like, what is going? I don't know. It's like, all right.
All right. And from Adam Mizinger, was very impressed with the boss fights in this game. Also, never played it before this collection. I'm sure that's a lot of people, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I mean, how would you unless you are? I mean, if you're like into emulation like I am, then maybe, but otherwise, if you don't know how to do emulation really well, then yeah, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to play it?
No, I mean, even I didn't play this, and I'm a huge emulation guy. I just hadn't.
Yeah, I just hadn't gotten around to it, honestly.
I just started messing with DS emulation not that long ago. So
yeah, I've not done too much DS emulation myself.
But no, I'm so happy this collection exists. I just thought it was just so funny that I spent multiple episodes bitching about how it never was going to happen, and here we are. So
yeah.
And right before I was about to start playing this too for the podcast, like within a couple weeks they announced it and released it.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, great. And I want to give away a Steam code. Let's see. Next one on my list is Death's Gambit. So your Steam code for Death's Gambit is PAYFE2M0CF5AVT7. That is your code for Death's Gambit. I have no idea what that is. So, but
Death's Gambit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. I own it, so I figured I'd give it away.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's Death's Gambit is the one where you're, gosh, is it the one that I'm thinking of? It's like a Metroidvania? Yeah.
Oh, it's Metro. Oh, okay.
Yeah, or at least Death's Gambit Afterlife is. Yeah, it's like pixel graphics, kind of muddy textures, kind of similar to like Salt and Sanctuary.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
It's kind of like a Dark Souls Metroidvania.
Oh, maybe I should play it someday.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Yeah, so someone gets a free Steam code for that. All right, then let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And since only 2 of us, I guess I'll go first. I'm going to put this on the shelf, just like Colby did. I love this game. I had an amazing time. I'm so happy to finally mark this off my backlog and to finally have gotten to experience this game and talk about it. So now I can say all 3 DS Castlevania games are on this podcast. I need to finish the GBA ones, but at least all the DS ones are here, finally. So yeah, going on the shelf. And what about you, Kerry?
Oh, yeah, going on the shelf. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And if I wasn't, trying to work through a backlog, then I'd probably have already started another run or gone back and tried to 100% it. So, yeah, definitely on the shelf. Love it.
It's good that you're going through your backlog, though.
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to.
Well, I mean, I'm finally getting to Persona 5 now that we have talked about Persona 4. So, But then I say I'm working on my backlog, and then I'm also playing the new Zelda, which is amazing. And we should do on here because it's a short game. You could probably knock it out in like 10 or 15 hours.
It'll probably happen. Next year. I want to play Echoes of Wisdom really bad, too.
It's a lot of fun. It's a good top-down Zelda game.
It's on my list to get to. I need to play the remake of Link's Awakening because I got it last year and I didn't play it this year, and I need to play it. So that's also going to happen soon. But timing was bad. I'm kind of waiting for people to get done with Echoes of Wisdom before I ask people to play Link's Awakening again.
Yeah.
Because I tried that once.
Yeah, I'll play Link's Awakening. I love Link's Awakening. I've got it on. I've got it for the GBC. I've got it for the GBA. I've got it for the or not the GBA. I've got it on my 3DS, and I got it on my DS, and I got it on my modded GBA, and I have the Switch version, the new. Oh, and I have the little handheld version that's like the size of like 5 credit cards stacked together.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That thing is awesome.
I did the original one. I did the DX one on the show a long time ago, and I wanted the Switch one because it feels different enough to talk about it, and I want to play it.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down for that.
So, all right. That will probably be happening at some point. All right, I should introduce what we're talking about next week to finish up the Spooktober. You can hear us talk about Silent Hill Homecoming. Oh my God. Okay. There have been a few times when I wanted to uninstall a game and just watch YouTube videos and not play it for the podcast. So, I played the PC port, and if you want to talk about a broken game, that's a broken game on PC. But that's neither here nor there. That's next week's episode.
So Homecoming, that's the 6th game in the series. That's the one that was on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah, it was like the big next-gen step, but it's got some problems.
Yeah, I don't remember if that one. I don't play horror games. I'm too much of a weenie. It's funny because like my like
don't play that game.
My like real bad habit is starting a horror movie at like 11 p.m. and watching it all the way through. So, but I love horror movies. It's maybe my favorite genre of movies, but I cannot play horror video games.
So far I can say play every Silent Hill but Homecoming. That's how bad it is. But also, it doesn't run on PC without downloading a fan-made patch.
Yeah, I heard the PC version is bad.
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. But you will hear me bitch about that a lot next week, I'm sure. All right, and Kerry, where can people find you at?
Hey, I'm Kerooseta, Kerooseta. I do Twitch, I do YouTube. I'm all over that Games My Mom Found Discord as well. So you can find me there. But yeah, that's me.
All right. And if you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, little dog vote in our Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2 polls every month. Definitely go support the show. As Kerry mentioned, we do have a Discord. Please join our Discord. Chat with us. If you want to be on the show, if you want to contribute, if you want to suggest episodes of the show, that's how you do it. Join the Discord and you can affect things on there. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy Elena at Hell Hasfree. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. You will see a link to her link tree in the show notes. Definitely go check her out. And also give a shout out to Bill Tucker, the Gamer Looks At For You. Definitely go check out his podcast too. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, squirrel videos mostly, because I don't know what to make for actual podcast content. And YouTube audio only. And rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasts. I greatly appreciate whenever people can do that. So I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.